Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Ronya Naboulsi. She is the founder of Fitra Healing. She is a mother of 3 beautiful kids, mashallah, and she is a counselor. So assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm actually excited to be part of this program.
I'm so excited for having you. So what are you going to be making today?
Okay, so today I'll be making Haloumi burgers. As you mentioned, I have 3 kids. So as they were growing up, working, studying, you want something quick and easy.
That's what we all want.
Yeah, and something that the kids sort of enjoyed. So this is like a really quick meal that you can make.
That's really good.
So let's see how we go.
And we're also going to be talking about
Palestine and Gaza, and obviously how it impacts mental health. So you'll be asking some questions around that, and we'll have a discussion around it.
Inshallah, because now with what's happening in Gaza, it's affecting a lot of moms and people around the world. So inshallah, we're going to be focusing on that. So stay tuned.
The MATW team is on the ground every single day in Gaza, delivering your donations. Every single dollar counts. Every single meal is saving lives right now in this time of crisis. Give now and give generously.
Okay, so now Ronya is going to tell us what we need for this burger, Haloumi burger. So I'm excited actually for this.
Okay, it's very simple. Actually, you only need 5 ingredients.
That is actually
We've got the burger bread. I don't know, I found this at Woolies potato burger buns, which I thought would be interesting, but really any bun will work.
Okay.
We've got Haloumi cheese.
Yum.
Okay, I prefer the big block because it fits perfectly with the burger bun. So can I repeat that one?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got the Haloumi cheese, and I prefer the big block because it's a bit wider, so it works better with the bun. And we've got spinach, baby spinach, and tomatoes, and aioli.
Okay, perfect.
And that's it.
That's perfect. Okay, so we need to first open the grill.
Oh, I'll cut everything first. Oh, it doesn't matter because I will get too hard. Just put it there.
Okay, so we'll start cutting. So with everything going on in Gaza, and I see a lot of women, they're very anxious, and they are getting affected with what's going over there. So how can women actually deal with this?
First, it's important to recognize what's going on in the person's body. So we're actually not designed to deal with that much trauma. And so something called secondary trauma, which is when you're constantly being exposed to images like what's been happening in Gaza, which is very, very traumatic, and it can affect the person's mental health. So there's a lot we can do, but first to understand that you have to listen to your body. And women who already suffer depression and anxiety will feel this on a larger scale. So their symptoms will get worse. Their depression symptoms might get worse. The anxiety might get worse. Do you like them?
So what strategies can women do or take if they feel anxious about what's happening? Especially now, we're always on our phones, scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, and all we see is all those children that are hungry or crying, and especially moms that are breastfeeding or pregnant, and they see these kind of images, they get so much affected. Like I know from a personal, this is personal. Like I remember when I was breastfeeding my son, and at the beginning of the war, I would see babies crying for food, and I got so much affected, to be honest. So what strategies do you give those women?
So for any woman that's feeling very overwhelmed or anxious with what's happening, take a break. So it's a good idea to take a break from social media.
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself, when you're watching these images, is it helping you to do something, or is it paralyzing you?
That's actually
So
right.
if you're watching these images and it's pushing you towards giving charity or making dua, or sharing on social media, then it's a good thing that you keep watching, because it's pushing you to doing something.
To do something good,
sort of reactive and proactive to what's going on. If, however, on the other spectrum, it's making you paralyzed.
Yeah.
So a lot of women, when they're seeing these things, they feel helpless. They feel very depressed, don't really want to go out anymore. They're feeling isolated. In that case, they have to ask themselves, is this actually benefiting me to watch these videos? Is it actually benefiting me, or even benefiting them? So I like to look at it as a spectrum.
Yeah.
One spectrum over here is, I don't want to watch it. I don't really want to be caring about what's happening over there, which is not good either, because Muslims are one ummah, we're one body.
Of
if
course.
one part is affected, the other part is affected.
We are all affected.
Then you have that other extreme where watching constantly and making the person feel very down and depressed, and then they're not really proactive anymore. And the middle ground, the balance, is always around, okay, I can see the images there, it's pushing me towards making dua, it's pushing me towards to want to do better, So you have to find that middle ground. Yeah, we don't want to be on either end of the spectrum. We want to be on the middle ground where it's balanced and we're still doing what we can.
Yeah,
the
so-
tomatoes chopped up. Just need a plate. Maybe I'll put them on a plate.
Yeah, I'll get you a plate. So what are some common, emotions women may experience when watching these footages or hearing about it?
So signs or symptoms I think the women should look out for is if you're starting to see physical symptoms, because when we're stressed, the body releases cortisol, which is a stress hormone.
Yeah.
That ultimately and eventually will affect you physically. So a lot of women come to me because I specialize with anxiety and they'll say I'm getting dizzy, gone to doctor, and they're saying there's nothing wrong. And that's actually a symptom of anxiety or depression. Or they're getting nausea or stomach issues and they've gone to a specialist and still there's no cause. They can't find a cause to their symptoms. And quite often it's linked to anxiety and depression. So listen to your body, look out for symptoms like insomnia, not being able to go to sleep, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, palpitations. In some extreme cases, especially if someone already suffers with anxiety, they can get panic attacks. And if you've ever experienced a panic attack, it actually feels like you're dying. Your heart's racing, palpitating, start to get a bit sweaty, and you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you're dying. You go to the hospital, call the ambulance, and then they usually do their checks and say, no, everything is good, you're good to go.
Everything is good, yeah.
And that's the body's response. Like you have to look at that as alarm bells. The body's trying to send a message and you have to listen, okay, what's my body trying to tell me? And I'd always say get professional help because sometimes it's hard to identify yourself what actually is going on. Because a lot of us do with the unconscious mind.
Yeah.
And so it's important to just listen to your body, look out for the symptoms and get professional help if you need it.
I actually agree. So sometimes we might be going through something already and then by watching these videos of what's happening in Gaza, it might trigger, something worse.
That's right. That's a good point, Lara. So what can happen is if someone's already gone through trauma, say for example, they have childhood trauma and they've already experienced some difficult issues in their life. I like to describe it I like to use analogies, and the analogy I use is like a wound. So if someone has a wound and they haven't healed that wound, it's still there. They've just put a Band-Aid on top of it, but it hasn't actually healed.
Yeah.
So what's happening now with what's happening overseas or any other trauma that can happen in a person's life, it's like getting salt and putting it on the wound again.
So
and then the whole wound just re-flares up and the pain is, intense. And thinking, but why am I feeling it so intensely? It's usually related to past trauma as well. That could have happened, yeah. So that's why it's important to work on your mental health. I think that we really undervalue the importance of working on mental health.
Yeah.
There's a lot of awareness now around physical health and gym and diet and exercise. But we really undervalue the importance of working on our mental health.
So I know in our society, there's a lot of women that may be going through mental health, but they don't like to seek medical treatment because they think maybe it's aib or no, I'm not mentally ill or something like that. I hear it a lot, to be honest. So what do you say to them?
Part of the reason I started my Fitra Healing page was for this main reason. I think that there's a lot of taboo around mental health, especially in the Arab community.
Yeah.
Not too sure about other communities. I'm sure it's probably the same.
Yeah.
But I know definitely from my upbringing, it was very taboo. I've suffered with depression myself. Went through postnatal depression with my eldest daughter, who's now 21.
Mashallah.
And at the time, I didn't know what was happening, and I was never something spoken about. And even if you try to speak to an elderly person in that time, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm just feeling very down, feeling a bit hopeless. The response is usually, oh, we all went through this. You'll be fine. Right. Keep going. You'll be okay. And it's very dismissive. And so my background, just to give you a bit of background, I actually studied traditional Chinese medicine.
Oh, mashallah.
It took me 10 years to finish my degree.
Wow.
So anyone out there who's studying and thinking, this is taking too long, don't give up. Just keep going.
I studied for 5 years because I was studying, I was bringing up my son. So it took me 5 years to finish my studies
and it's
as well.
Okay, it can take you some time. So it took me 10 years to finish my traditional Chinese medicine. Wow. And after I finished, I thought, you know what, this is actually not for me. I want to work on mental health, because what I noticed was women would come in, for example, with the physical symptoms. Say, for example, they've got dizziness or nausea, and then you treat it with acupuncture and herbs. But then when they come back the following week, the symptoms are worse because it's related to a mental health thing. Okay. So I started to pick up and I thought, you know what, I need to work on mental health, because you have to look at the mind, the body and the soul to get true healing. And that's what led me to counselling. And so then when I started to do counseling and talk about it, people were just like surprised. And like you said, it's a taboo topic.
Yeah.
Even when I told my father that I'm going to study counseling, he's like, "Oh, so you're going to help people who are crazy?" And I said,
exactly.
"No."
That's
I
a
said,
word
"Dad."
that they're using now. Like, for example, like when you go to an Arab person and tell them, okay, this person might be going through something mentally, which I think everyone has trauma in their life in some way. We are here in this world to be tested in a way or another.
Yeah.
And then when someone says or mentions that they're going to a psychologist or anything that would help, or counselor, for example, they'll be like, no, I can't go there because people are going to call me crazy, for example.
Yes.
I've heard that a lot, actually.
And I think that's a really old way of thinking about it. Alhamdulillah, my dad's changed his perspective. All these years, I've convinced him that you can come to therapy, just if you're feeling overwhelmed, feeling a little bit sad, confused, not quite sure what's happening. So therapy is not, for crazy people. This is something we need to change. And that was part of the reason I started my Fitra Healing, is to raise awareness around mental health and to let go of this taboo ideology that, we shouldn't be seeking mental health, because then it means that you're crazy or there's something wrong with you. Yeah.
Because as I just mentioned that we all go through trauma.
Yeah.
And whatever trauma that we go through, I feel like if we don't heal it, or if we don't, how can I say عالجها? If we don't treat it. Yeah, again. So I feel like a lot of us go through trauma, and if you don't actually treat it right, it's going to build more trauma, and anything that you watch or see might, make it worse for you. So what do you suggest, or what do you think about this?
So this is what we're talking about here, is compounded trauma. So someone has a trauma and then they don't heal it, and then they build upon it, and slowly it grows. An analogy again I will use. Someone, for example, has had a back injury and they never treated it. And they didn't do anything to try to fix it or repair it, and they just ignored the problem and left it.
Yeah.
And then they now have another injury, and now it makes the situation worse for them. So you're right, we all have some degree of trauma. Some of it doesn't need therapy, like some people can manage it naturally on their own, but some struggle with it. And that's where it's important that if you are struggling to get the help that's needed. And I do want to mention with the cheese slices, not track too much. So just kind of like around that thick, probably the size of a meat patty. And we're going to fry these off, brown them off. It is quite salty, but I find that with the tomato and the aioli, it sort of balances it out. And same with the spinach as well. So I just got the packaged spinach only because it's more convenient, but I'll show today. But you can buy the free spinach, loose spinach, and just pick it yourself. Okay, so we're almost ready to fry off our cheese and things. So we've got here tomato chopped up, the spinach. So what I'm going to do now is grill the burger bun. I like mine crunchy.
Okay, are we going to put anything on the grill, or?
Yes, I'm going to fry off the cheese. So we need to put this in the grill. Oh, I can do it. No, let me put it in the grill.
Do you want me to put it? Okay,
I just need another plate if you don't mind. So I'm just going to grill these or toast them a little bit. I like mine crunchy and toasted. And then we're just going to fry off the cheese a little bit. Just in a pan. I don't put oil or anything.
Okay.
Doesn't need it really.
Yeah, and this is non-stick pan, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some strategies that women can use to overcome anxiety?
So the first one that we mentioned, I would like to mention is, again, listen to your body. And if you feel that it's not serving you, then take a break. Take a break from social media. Try not to watch images that are making your symptoms worse. And also take time away if you need to go out in nature. That's a good go out for a walk. Find a hobby that helps you to, like, when you're doing a hobby, you feel better. You usually feel like productive. You feel you're achieving something. Get your mind off things as well. Exercise is extremely important. When you exercise, it releases endorphins, which is really good for the body. And most importantly, in my opinion, is connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That could be through prayer, through Quran, through dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is capable of all things. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is capable to heal the person's anxiety and depression, to ease the situation in Gaza and Palestine. And so continue with dua and continue with prayer and worship and afkar.
Oh, mashallah, yeah. So, you know, now that kids have access to phones and social media, they're also going through similar, you know, videos, and they're watching these videos of Palestine and, you know, all these images that are coming up of the kids that are starving. So what can we do as mothers, you know, to help our children overcome this as well?
I think it's important with our children to have open conversations, age appropriate. So, for example, a child that's 10 or 11, they should be aware of the situation that's going on there. They need to understand what's happening, but according to their age level. And also the same strategies will apply for children. You know, talk to them that this is affecting your mental health, you're finding it overwhelming. It's okay to switch off for a little bit.
Yeah.
It is a lot to watch. Like, you know, even myself as a counsellor, and I've got a lot of coping strategies to deal with these things. I still find there's from time to time that I do need to switch off for a little bit and ask myself, is this serving me now, or is it actually, it's not beneficial, it's not actually helping me or anyone around me. So I take a bit of time to switch off. Of course, turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, dua, Quran, you know, maybe go away somewhere and then come back and think, okay, what can I do to actually help here? How can I help the people in Gaza? Because one thing that's really important is not to feel helpless. It's very, very, very important not to feel helpless.
Yeah, that's actually right.
You have to remember that a Muslim believer is strong, and Muslims are not powerless, and they're not helpless. We always have dua. We always have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We've been made to feel like that we don't have any power or ability, but that's not true. Okay, I think I'm almost burning the cheese, so I'll take that off for a second. Just turn it off. So I think I'm ready now to assemble my burger.
Wow,
I'll just get a plate, please.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assemble my burger now. What I've done is I've toasted it. Okay, and it's very quick, like it's maybe 10 minutes and you'll be done. So we've got our Haloumi cheese here that's been toasted, nice and piping hot.
Yeah, smells good. So how can community or support networks help women that are feeling anxiety or feel anxious about what's going on in Gaza, or if they're going through any trauma?
I think we're not actually created to be alone. If you think of Adam alayhi salam was created in heaven and he's in Jannah. Like, what more could you ask for? To be in paradise, to have everything that you want. But he wanted a companion. So he wanted to be around other people, because we're not created to be isolated and alone.
Of course.
It's actually, if you're feeling that you need to be isolated and alone, then it's a sign that you probably need a bit of support. Of course, taking a little bit of time away from community, and you know, to have a bit of a break is okay. But if you're generally wanting to be isolated, then it's usually something else that's going on. So community is very, very important, because we are supposed to be communal and work together and work as a team. And when we're going through something like what's happening in Gaza, like even when they see people protesting, it gives them like some hope, encouragement. And so we are supposed to work in as a community and trying to get involved with the protests and with community projects that are happening to support Gaza. I think they're very important. It helps people feel connected. It helps people feel like there's a common cause that they're working towards.
That's actually right. And like now what happened in Sydney on the Harbour Bridge, that actually reached the people over there in Gaza, and they were all happy and sending messages that, oh my God, the people in Australia are actually standing with us.
And it was a huge crowd.
And it was a huge crowd, subhanAllah. And most of them were like not even Arabs or Muslims. They were like from other cultures and nationalities. So that was amazing, alhamdulillah.
So we've got the cheese and then the tomato. And then I just put a little bit of aioli sauce.
Yeah, that looks so delicious.
Okay, and then the spinach. I like to put extra spinach because my kids don't like greens. So I try to hide it in the burger, but they still pick it out somehow.
And it's so healthy as well.
Okay. And even if you wanted to, like potentially if you don't want bread, so you can just get the halloumi. Taste. Okay, there we go. There's our... Oops.
Need to cut it a little bit more.
Okay.
Oh my God, guys. Look at this. How easy and simple was
that? I don't know if it
that?
classifies as a meal, but it's a good snack.
No, my kids would love that, honestly. Like, it looks so
I think
good.
they would. And if you don't want the breads, you can have...
Okay, let's taste it now.
Yeah,
Bismillah. I'm here to do the tasting all the time. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That is so nice. I absolutely love this. Are you going to try it?
Yeah, well.
Okay. I'll continue that after. Yam, that's actually so good. I'll ask you the last question and then we wrap it up. Okay, Ronya, so what message would you like to share with women who are feeling anxious about Gaza, or what kind of hope can you give them?
First, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created these feelings and emotions for a reason, and if you are feeling anxious, don't look at it as necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing that you are feeling the pain of others, but as I said, it needs to be balanced out. If you're feeling that it's actually disabling you, then it's time to sort of balance it out and become more proactive with these feelings. So use those feelings to drive you towards doing something to help them. And the message of hope I want to give is to never feel helpless. Be hopeful. As Muslims, we always need to be hopeful. We know in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that with every hardship comes ease. So this is a time of hardship, this is a time of difficulty, but the ease will come.
Inshallah.
The ease will come, and we know that Palestine will be liberated.
Inshallah.
It's just a matter of time. And all what we're going through is a test for the Palestinians, of course, first and foremost, but also for everyone else around who's watching. What are we doing? Are we spreading awareness around Palestine? Are we making dua for them? Are we giving charity on their behalf? So never say that I'm helpless, because then you keep enabling that helpless behavior. Rather say, I'm going to be hopeful and we can do something about it. Muslims are strong, even though we're not using our strength, but we are strong and we have the power and we have the ability, and it's only a matter of time, inshallah, before Palestine will be liberated,
inshallah, ya Rab. And for those who are willing to go and seek help, like for example, they want to go see a counselor, or just anything that would help their mentor, what do you recommend?
Take the first step. The first step to change is awareness. So as soon as you recognize something's just not right, don't sit on it. Don't wait for it to get worse. Because what I've noticed with my clients that do have anxiety and depression is I've been feeling it for years. It goes and comes. Had it as a teenager, and then it went away, and then I got it when I had given birth. It's going and coming. So if you do feel not feeling quite yourself, you feel something's not right, seek help. You can either go to your GP and get a mental health plan and see a psychologist, or you can see a counsellor. I specialise with helping women overcome anxiety and depression. My business name is Fitra Healing, so if anyone wants help, you can reach out. That's my specialty.
So they can just go on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram or on my webpage. Just book an appointment direct.
And you can do online? Yeah, I was going to ask you.
You can do online, you can see me face-to-face. Some people prefer face-to-face, some people prefer online.
Yeah.
But it's just important to take that first step. It's scary. The first step is always scary, because a lot of the clients come to me for the first time, like, I don't know what to talk about. Where do I start? I feel very anxious. I feel very nervous. And subhanAllah, after the first session, they're just feeling very comfortable and they're looking forward to come back again and talk about what's going on and start that healing journey. It is sometimes a slow process and a painful process, but it's so worth it at the end.
Of course. No, thank you so much for coming today. And guys, make sure if you feel anxious or you do need help, make sure you go and seek help. And thank you so much, Ronya, for coming. MashaAllah, the burgers are amazing, you're amazing, and inshallah ya Rab, you guys enjoyed today's show, and make sure to follow her. And thank you all for watching, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.